After 11 years of marriage, my wife said she needed a break. That she was trying to find herself. I gave her space, paid her rent, took care of the kids. Then our daughter said, "Mom has a new boyfriend. He tucks me in sometimes." I drove over, saw her through the window, laughing, wearing the necklace I bought her. I didn't knock. I left a file of legal papers on her windshield with a note. "Found yourself yet?" She showed up at the hearing alone. Even her lawyer looked disgusted. I'm not really the type to share personal stuff online, but this has been eating at me. Maybe writing it out will help. I'm 42. I work at a plumbing supply warehouse just outside St. Charles, Missouri. Same place for the last 19 years. I'm not rich, but I've always been steady. I'm the guy who fixes what's broken, shows up early, leaves late, pays his bills. I don't cheat. I don't drink too much. I don't hit. I've done everything I could to be a good man. My wife, well, ex-wife now. Her name is Jill. We met when I was 30, and she was 28. I remember it like yesterday. My cousin had a birthday party for his kid at a pizza place. She was there with her sister. I noticed her right away. She laughed at one of my dumb jokes, and we ended up talking the whole time. We dated for a year, then got married. At first, it was good. We had Harper 2 years in, and then Milo came along 3 years later. Jill worked part-time at a salon until Milo was born, then she said she wanted to be home more. I supported that. Got her a newer minivan. Took on some extra hours to make sure we'd be fine. We weren't rich, but we were doing okay. We had a house, a backyard, a swing set. We took family trips to Branson and once to Florida. I thought we were solid. I thought she was happy. Then last April, out of nowhere, she sat me down at the kitchen table. The kids were at school. She had this serious look on her face, like someone had died. "I need space," she said. "I don't know who I am anymore. I feel like I'm just your wife. Just a mom. I need time to figure out who I am." I didn't get angry. I asked if something happened. She said no. She said I was a good husband, a great dad, that this wasn't about me. It was about her. I thought it was maybe a midlife crisis or something. I told her, "Okay. If that's what you need." I figured she'd stay with her sister or something for a while. But no, she already had an apartment lined up. Already signed the lease. That should have been my first clue. But I didn't fight it. I didn't want to make things worse. I told her I'd support her while she figured things out. Paid half her rent. Gave her a chunk of my savings so she wouldn't struggle. Took over almost all the parenting. I worked during the day, come home, cook dinner, do homework, clean up, do laundry, get the kids to bed. Rinse, repeat. She saw the kids every other weekend. Sometimes not even that. Always had some excuse. A work thing or not feeling well. I held on to hope. I thought maybe she was just lost. Maybe she'd realize what we had. That she missed it. I didn't date. I didn't talk to anyone about it, not really. I just worked and waited. Then about 3 months ago, everything shifted. It was a Thursday night. Harper, who's 9, was brushing her teeth. I was in the hallway folding laundry. Out of nowhere she said, "Daddy, is it okay that Mom has a boyfriend?" I just froze. I turned and asked, "What do you mean?" She said, "He was there the last 2 times we visited. He makes pancakes and he helps me brush my hair sometimes. He tucks me in. He kisses Mom a lot." My heart dropped. I didn't say anything to her. I didn't want her to feel like she said something wrong. I just hugged her and tucked her into bed. Then I went into the bathroom, closed the door, and sat on the edge of the tub for a long time. I didn't sleep that night. Next day after work, I drove straight to her apartment. I didn't knock. I parked across the lot and just waited. Her blinds were open. I could see into the living room. She was sitting on the couch with him. Some guy, maybe early 30s, looked like the gym type. Tattoos up his arms. Big watch. He had his arm around her. She was laughing, full belly laughing, like she hadn't in years. And then I saw it. That necklace. The gold heart I gave her on our 10th anniversary. Had the kids' birthstones. My birthstone. Hers. It was supposed to mean something. She was wearing it. I didn't get out of the truck. I didn't go up to the door. I just sat there watching them laugh. Watching her lean into him. Like none of this had ever mattered. Then I drove to a gas station and sat in the parking lot. I stared at my steering wheel for maybe an hour. After that, I called my lawyer. I didn't tell Jill I knew. I didn't confront her. I just went quiet. Cold. Calculated. I started collecting paperwork. Bank statements. Credit card charges. Cell phone records. I noticed she'd been buying things from places we never went. Restaurants, hotels. Sometimes even on days when she was too sick to see the kids. I found a charge for a hotel room the same weekend she told me she was at her sister's helping with renovations. She was lying the whole time. I printed everything. Made a folder. Took it to my lawyer. We started working on the divorce filings right away. Full custody. No spousal support. She'd already moved out. She was already with someone else. She wasn't contributing to the household. I had evidence, dates, pictures. My lawyer said I had a strong case. Said judges don't like parents who abandon their kids and move in with new lovers while pretending to be finding themselves. I kept quiet the whole time. I didn't let her see anything coming. But I did make one final move. About a week before the court hearing, I went back to her apartment. Same truck. Same parking lot. I didn't knock. She wasn't home yet. But her car was parked outside. I walked up and slipped the manila folder under her windshield wiper. Inside were copies of the divorce papers. Custody request. All the evidence. On top, I wrote a note in big black marker. Found yourself yet? Then I got in my truck and left. I didn't answer her calls after that. She called 6 times that night. Left 2 voicemails. One was crying. The other was angry. I didn't respond. The hearing was 3 days later. She showed up alone. No boyfriend. No sister. No support. Just her in a wrinkled blouse and shaky hands. Even her lawyer looked like he wanted to be somewhere else. When the judge asked why she hadn't been involved with the kids, she started crying. Said she felt trapped. Said she didn't mean to hurt anyone. My lawyer stood up, calm as ever, and handed the judge a folder with everything. Photos. Receipts. Texts. The hotel stay. The lies. The judge just stared at her for a long time. I didn't say a word. I just sat there, staring at the woman I used to think I'd grow old with, and felt nothing. No love. No hate. Just done. The judge didn't give a ruling that day. Said he'd review everything and issue a decision the following week. Jill left the courthouse red-eyed and silent. She walked right past me like I wasn't even there. I went home and tried to relax, but I couldn't. Something felt off. It wasn't just the hearing. It was too quiet. Like the other shoe hadn't dropped yet. It did. That night. Around 9:30, I got a call from a blocked number. I let it go to voicemail. A minute later, another call. Then a text from Jill. We need to talk. Please. I ignored it. A few minutes after that, my phone lit up again. This time, it was Harper's school. A teacher's assistant had found something strange online. A social media post. Turns out, Jill's boyfriend, the one who'd been tucking in my daughter, had a record. Domestic battery. Assault. Arrested 2 years ago in Kansas City for choking his ex during a custody dispute. And she brought this guy around our kids. I saw red. I forwarded everything to my lawyer. He filed for an emergency hearing to suspend her visitation. When she found out, she lost it. She came to my house the next morning while I was loading the kids into the car. She didn't even knock. Just stormed up the driveway. "You're trying to destroy me!" she screamed. "You think I did this on purpose?" I told her. "You brought a violent man around my kids. You lied. You abandoned us. You don't get to play the victim now." Harper heard. She was standing by the front door with her backpack on. Jill looked at her, then at me. She opened her mouth like she was going to say something, then turned and walked back to her car. I held my daughter while she cried. And I knew right then, this wasn't just about revenge anymore. It was about protection. The emergency hearing happened fast. 2 days later, we were back in front of the judge. Jill looked worse than before. Hair tied up messy, circles under her eyes. She tried to defend herself. Said the guy had changed. Said she didn't know about his past. The judge didn't buy it. He granted me full custody, suspended her visitation until further review, and ordered her to complete parenting classes and counseling before she could even request to see the kids again. That should have been the end. But it wasn't. A week after the hearing, Jill showed up drunk to Milo's school play. She wasn't even supposed to be there. She sat in the back row, slurring and crying quietly. Teachers noticed. The school called me after. The principal asked me to come in. That night, I got an email from her boyfriend's ex. She'd found me through a mutual connection. She warned me. Said Jill's boyfriend had a habit of charming women with kids. That he was manipulative, controlling. She attached a police report from 2022. A photo of bruises. Her statement. My stomach turned. I forwarded it all to the court. That was it. Jill lost all visitation rights. No more weekend visits. No phone calls. Nothing unless supervised by a professional, and even that was under review. She didn't even show up to the next hearing. Months passed. I focused on the kids, on healing, on work. But it still haunted me, how blind I'd been. How long I'd convinced myself she just needed space. Then, one day, I got a letter in the mail. No return address. Just my name. Inside was a photo. An old picture of us at the beach, Jill holding Harper as a baby, smiling. On the back, in her handwriting, it said, "I didn't know how to ask for help." I sat at the kitchen table staring at it for a long time. I could have fallen apart. Felt pity. Maybe even sent her a message. But I didn't. I took that photo, walked to the trash can, and dropped it in. Because here's the truth, maybe I wasn't perfect. I worked too much. I didn't always notice when she was slipping. I thought providing was enough. But I stayed. I held our family together. I didn't lie. I didn't cheat. I didn't bring danger into our home. She did. So when people ask what happened to my marriage, I tell them the truth. She left to find herself. And I found out who she really was. And I'm raising my kids without her. Because some people don't need space. They need consequences.